roster rankings get a little more difficult as the Saints head into the 2021 season. Without Drew Brees ranking #1, that leaves the spot open to some new faces. The Athletic's Larry Holder joins us this morning with his thoughts. Larry, you've made your annual Saints roster rankings predictions, if you will. Share those with us and why you're feeling this way.
Well, it's funny that it's the first year you mentioned. It's the first year since I've ever done this, no matter which publication I've worked for, where #1 wasn't the easy choice, and it was Drew Brees. So this year, it's definitely much different. And when you're having to rank position players up high, and then where do you put the quarterbacks, say Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, that is another interesting scenario. But you could just tell by doing this exercise, the Saints have lost a lot of players. It's not just Drew Brees. Like players in my top 10 last year were Jared Cook, Emmanuel Sanders, and so you lost a bunch of other depth around the team as well. So it's definitely a different looking roster than what we're used to.
And you mentioned Drew Brees. You mentioned his presumed heirs apparent, if you will. Where do you rank the quarterbacks that we're looking at? Because of course there's still the question of who's going to be the starting quarterback, but where do you rank both of them?
Yeah, like in my rankings, I put Jameis Winston at 13 and Taysom Hill at 14. And it's almost bizarre to have your starting quarterback not even be #1, but outside of the top 10. But I just don't think we know what to expect totally from Jameis Winston. Can he elevate his play and be the bona fide starter? And as far as Taysom Hill is concerned, like I'd probably rank him 14 no matter if he wins the job or not, just because he's a valuable piece to the puzzle. And that's actually one spot up from where I had him last year at 15. So, look, Taysom Hill would stay put. But if Jameis does better, I'm sure next year he'll be higher in my rankings.
And then, of course, we want to know what you think about one of NASCAR's newest employees, Alvin Kamara. Where do you rank him for the 2021 season?
Well, you might as well have that finished flag because he finished #1. So, he's coming off of a fantastic season, 21 touchdowns. And someone that the Saints really need to lean upon, especially given the uncertainty at quarterback. And so Alvin Kamara, look, he had a bounce back year because the previous year had him at #6 because he had a rough year his third season, but he had a monster year last year. And the newest #1, the first time in, 15 years, outside of Drew Brees, my #1 player for the Saints is Alvin Kamara.
And Larry, we were just talking, Saints camp is just a few weeks away. This year's flying by. Any thoughts as we approach those hot days of summer camp?
Well, I think it's actually a good thing because we're assuming fans will be at camp, so things will be a little bit back to normal. But the team is anything but normal in the sense of we're still looking for the heir apparent to Drew Brees. Lots of question marks all across the defense. And now the Saints are chasing Tampa Bay as opposed to being the favorite in the division. So another different scenario as we go into training camp in a few weeks.
Larry Holder, as always, we appreciate your insight and look forward to seeing how these rankings play out and what happens at camp.
You got it, Kelsey. Thanks.